Operation Epic Fury. The Ayatollah is dead. Iran's navy is burning at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, and President Donald Trump just looked the world in the eye and said, quote, "The big one is coming." This isn't saber rattling. This is not diplomacy. This is America finally doing what should have been done decades ago. Well, the swamp creatures in Washington clutch their pearls and the fake news hyperventilates. Our Arab allies, they're not begging for peace. They're calling the Pentagon, asking for targeting coordinates so they could join the fight. The question isn't whether Iran's terror regime will fall, it's whether the world is ready for what comes next. Let me tell you why this matters to you and your family. See, for 45 years, the Islamic Republic of Iran has been the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. They've funded Hezbollah, they've armed Hamas, they've plotted attacks on American soil, and thanks to Barack Hussein Obama's catastrophic nuclear deal, they were just a month away from having a nuclear weapon. 1 month. Think about that for just a second. Every time you fill up your tank, every time you watch gas prices fluctuate, that's Iran holding a knife to the global economy through the Strait of Hormuz. Every parent who's watched their son or daughter deployed to the Middle East knows the terror that Iran's proxies have inflicted on our troops. But here's the bigger picture. A nuclear-armed Iran doesn't just threaten Israel, it threatens Europe. It threatens our bases in the region. It threatens the entire world order. President Trump saw what the establishment refused to see. These aren't rational actors you can negotiate with. These are, in his words, mentally ill, sick people who would use a nuclear weapon the moment they got one. And now, finally, America is taking the gloves off. And speaking of protecting yourself and your family from global chaos, let me share something important with you. Something's brewing right now, and you can feel it in the markets, in the headlines, in the uncertainty gripping the world. The problem is you never know the full story until after the crash, after the collapse, after it's too late. And here's the brutal truth. You can't protect yourself after the fact. You have to be ready now. All this uncertainty, the chaos, the warning signs coming out of the Middle East. Maybe it's nothing, maybe it's noise, but maybe it's the beginning of something even bigger that reshapes everything. Now, nobody knows for sure, but waiting to find out, that's how people get hurt financially. In physical gold and silver, they're not just investments, they're insurance against the unknown. Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands of Americans protect their retirement savings with precious metals. So don't wait for the next crisis to wish that you had acted. Yes, visit the link down below, nextnewsgold.com, or call 877-646-5347. Now let's get back to the historic moment unfolding in the Middle East. This is what the mainstream media is desperately trying to hide from you. It's not America acting alone as some rogue superpower. Senator Tom Cotton dropping a bombshell that completely destroys the left's narratives. When Iran launched attacks on Arab nations, those countries didn't call the White House begging Trump to stop. They called asking for targeting information so they could join the strikes themselves. The real coalition. Not the fake coalitions of the past built on empty promises and photo ops. This is the entire region finally standing up to say enough is enough. Here is President Trump in the Oval Office just moments ago talking about the initial attack known as Midnight Hammer. Watch. Okay, let me check that audio real quick and see why we seem to keep losing the audio connection on some of these files, but we should have it back now.
Two things.
Here we go.
The attack that we did, known as Midnight Hammer, had we not done that, Iran would have had a very powerful nuclear weapon within 1 month. We did it. It was great timing, but, you know, and you've been able to see that too. The other thing was Barack Hussein Obama made maybe the worst deal I've ever seen, because he gave all power in the Middle East to Iran. He went the exact opposite way, and I terminated that. If I didn't terminate that deal, they would be sitting with a massive nuclear weapon 3 years ago, which would have been used already on Israel at least, and other countries also. And we wouldn't be talking about it right now. But if I didn't terminate the deal that Obama made, giving them everything, including plane loads of cash. You remember the airplane flew over there? It was a Boeing 757. There was 2 of them loaded. They took out all the seats. It was loaded with green cash. So much cash that you could It was in Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. They got all the cash from all the banks. They put it, and they flew it to Iran. I never knew a president had that power. I'm going to maybe try it sometime if it's okay. I think I'm going to do it. I'll fly it somewhere. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
No one has ever seen anything like it. I remember the moment clearly. Trump obviously justifying Midnight Hammer operation, claiming it prevented nuclear war. Now watch him double down on why Iran can't be trusted with any weapons at all.
They're crazy. Just like the people on my right during the State of the Union. I looked at them, I said, you're crazy? These people are crazy. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it.
They would have used it. President Trump knows it. Secretary of State Marco Rubio knows it. From nuclear threats to mental instability, Trump is painting Iran as unhinged, which sets up perfectly why other nations are joining the fight. Senator Tom Cotton revealing Arab nations are now surging to fight Iran, and it could only happen under President Trump. Listen to this.
Iran targeted these Arab countries. They didn't plead for peace. They didn't ask Donald Trump to stop. They asked Donald Trump for targeting information so they could join in the strikes in Iran. That's what a real coalition looks like. We're all now fighting together to try to finally eliminate the threat that a revolutionary Iran poses to the United States, to our Arab friends, and to Israel.
And I think the chancellor...
Targeting information on the table. Cotton's revelation about Arab nations requesting it shows President Trump's tough stance is creating unlikely alliances with the president. Not done yet. The Oval Office was abuzz today. Let's take a look at what happened.
A big factor in this world and future factor is what we're doing right now with Iran. If we don't stop them, or if we didn't stop them, or if we didn't start, they've been decimated. But if we didn't do what we're doing right now, you would have had a nuclear war and they would have taken out many countries, because you know what? They're sick people. They're mentally ill, sick people. They're angry. They're crazy. They're sick.
President Trump never holds back, does he? Trump's escalating rhetoric about preventing nuclear catastrophe leads directly to his promise that military action is about to intensify. Take a look at this headline from the New York Post. Trump says U.S. strikes on Iran are about to kick into even higher gear. The big one is coming. Take a look. You can see the headline. The big one is coming, and I think there's a video here. Plumes of smoke. Look at this video. Dramatic video coming out of Iran. You can hear the explosions, the attacks. One after another, targets being annihilated by the sheer force of the United States military and its precision strikes going in and targeting the Iranian regime. Unlike the Iranians, who like to target soft targets, schools and hospitals, diplomatic regions, consulates, which, by the way, we are learning that there was no casualties in that consulate strike in Dubai today, which happy to announce that. Marco Rubio making the announcement earlier today. So some of the visuals that you're seeing that coming out of Iran, the New York Post confirming Trump's threat about the big one coming. Now we're seeing the Pentagon release footage of some of the promises in action. More video of the U.S. military annihilating Iranian drones before they even get a chance to take off. Hellfire is raining down Iran's drones and missile sites. Some declassified video now being released. You can see some of those tiny little drones just being annihilated, one after another after another. And here's what the globalist media will never tell you. President Trump didn't start a war. He's actually ending one. A 45-year shadow war that Iran has waged against America, against Israel, against our Arab allies, and against the entire civilized world. Every American soldier killed by Iranian-made IEDs in Iraq, every Israeli child murdered by Hamas rockets funded by Tehran, every act of terror sponsored by the mullahs, it all traces back to the same regime that was 1 month away from having nuclear weapons. The establishment strategy of endless negotiation and strategic patience was going to get millions of people killed. President Trump chose a different path. What's it called? It's 3 words: peace through strength. And now the entire region is united in finally eliminating this threat once and for all. This is the moment historians will point to as the turning point in the Middle East, not the endless wars of the past, not the failed diplomacy and broken promises, but the day America finally stood up and said no more. President Trump promised to put America first, and he's delivering it in ways the establishment never thought possible. Our enemies are on notice, our allies are standing with us, and the threat of a nuclear Iran is being eliminated before our very eyes. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you support President Trump's decisive action against Iran? Yes or no? Simple answer. And let me know and share this video with every patriot who needs to see the truth the mainstream media won't show them. And don't forget to check out the Next News merch shelf at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Show your support for independent conservative journalism and make sure you're subscribed. And hit that notification bell because this story is developing fast. I'm Gary Franchi. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.